think y'all can hear me. Whew. All right, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, baby boy. Make sure this shit working. All right, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm gonna put these headphones on so I can hear what's going on here. Yeah, so I couldn't help it, man. I said I wasn't gonna do it. I said I wasn't gonna go and view none of these internet trolls things. What's up? What's up, JD? What's happening? I said I wasn't gonna do it, man, but I saw something that was really dumb. This guy, he makes a video, and the video is titled Deontay Wilder, you're not worth 50-50 split against Joshua. Sorry, it's the truth. Well, first of all, it doesn't matter if it's the truth or not. It's the amount that Deontay Wilder is willing to take for the fight. And at the other and at the other time, in the same note, you should go ahead and think about why would Deontay Wilder say 50-50 or nothing? Well, yeah, I think he is too. I think he is. I think he's racist too, JD. So, I was just thinking in my head, like, why this guy in the whole video never says anything remotely to elude that, hey, Deontay Wilder does have some type of uh methodical reason, some type of way of thinking when it comes to why he should get 50-50. He doesn't do that. The only thing he does is talk about a whole bunch of bullshit. What's up, Laws Dawkins? That doesn't even make sense. So let's go here. Let's go down. I could not watch it all. I could not. I just couldn't do it. I'm trying to drink my alcoholic beverage, and it just wasn't flowing. I started getting sick. One of the things he said, one of the things he said, let me get my list here. So I have to write it down because I can't remember shit. You know what I'm saying? He says, one of the ones he says, Deontay Wilder never sold out a stadium, even in his hometown. That's irrelevant. I'm gonna go to why all this shit is irrelevant that he's saying, and then some of the stuff is just outrageous. Like, you would hear it. He says Wilder fought one time on pay-per-view, and he couldn't even do 400K pay-per-view buys. And then right after that, he said Floyd was getting 1.7 million per pay-per-view every time he fought. Then he went and said that Floyd was getting about 25 million guaranteed per fight. Then he said Wilder was delusional. Then he said Wilder is only known internationally because he's because of his ducking abilities. Then he says Wilder never did over 5 million and never earned 5 million in the fight. He says that maybe one time he did 4 million, but he threw that off. And then he said that he read somewhere that Wilder made $3 million versus Tyson Fury. I couldn't, after that, I had to stop. And the reason why I had to stop, because it's evident that the guy is trolling. The guy is trolling. I don't really think that he means what he's saying. I think the only reason why he's doing it is for the likes. Like my boy Chronic said, go out there and check him out. One of the reggae artists. He's pretty good. Chronic's spelled with 2 X's, no C, 1 C. Yeah, he's doing it for monetary reasons. Hey, Laws Dawkins, you want to get on? Just let me know, man. So some of the things that I capped on there. Dang, what my other list? It doesn't really matter whether or not Deontay Wilder is worth 50-50. What matters is that at this point in time, matchroom boxing is stuck. It's stuck. They're going to have to go out there and face Dillian White or Big Baby Miller, and that's it, because they're not going to fight Ortiz, and Usyk's not going to fight him. I don't care what they put on World Boxing News or BoxRec when Usyk's manager had a meeting with Matchroom Boxing, and they were trying to say, okay, his first couple of fights are going to be with big names. I don't care what they say, it's going to be them two, and how much money he's going to get for that. And then not only that is how much money is DAZN going to get. So DAZN is going to be screwed. If AJ fights Miller, if AJ fights White, that's not going to do nothing for the DAZN's revolving subscriptions. Revolving subscriptions, when I say that is every month there's somebody that pays every month. Vice is somebody that just gets on and jumps off before they have to pay. So the revolving subscriptions, subscribers is going to go down. DAZN wants Anthony Joshua to fight over here in the U.S. versus somebody, and that somebody is Deontay Wilder. The secondary guy would be Big Baby Miller. You see what I'm saying? And one of those fights can be in New York, and one of those fights can be in Las Vegas, if you're following me. And another thing is that Wilder versus Fury, as far as what I'm tracking so far, has done over pay-per-view numbers $25 million. And that's way more than what DAZN has been putting out, and that's way more than what Eddie Hearn has ever did in the U.S. You see what I'm saying? And once you start doing $25 million, if you follow what Floyd's been, how Floyd's career progressed on pay-per-view, that's a start. That's a start. It's very hard over here in America for you to do your first pay-per-view, right? Especially as a black boxer, non-Mexican, to do over 50 million. I mean 500,000 is hard. 500,000 pay-per-view buys is hard. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get these people to watch boxing on a regular. People want to say, oh yeah, I seriously believe that the whole what you call that thing, Adrian Broner and Pacquiao, that was the, I'm telling you, that's the only time Filipinos watch boxing in America. That's probably the only time they watch boxing is when Pacquiao's on. So why do you think those numbers did all that? Yeah, Broner had something to do with it. Yeah, his mouth had something to do with it. Yes, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not. In my opinion, I don't think Adrian Broner was the main reason why it did good over 400K pay-per-view buys. And now let's go to the next list. So Matchroom Boxing set up shop in the United States. Matchroom Boxing brought DAZN over here to the United States. Well, they didn't bring DAZN. I'm pretty sure DAZN was coming anyways. But they're both here. They're both here in the United States. And they're not here to dick around. They're not here to get people to watch UK fighters solely. They came over here to get American fighters, to get American viewers on board to watching DAZN, to sell their fighters around in the biggest fucking stage of boxing in the world, so they can increase their revenue. That's the reason why they did it. They didn't do it because of no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Then another thing, what else I got here? And another thing is the reason, my main reasoning behind why Deontay Wilder is worth 50-50 is because Matchroom Boxing set up shot here. DAZN came up over here with them. And at the same note is, people know Deontay Wilder in the UK. People don't know who Anthony Joshua is over here in the US. And that's just how it is. So how you gonna tell me that you want a piece of this pie over here? You have no place to go. You desperate, but you don't want to pay the money. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't want to do it, that's fine and dandy. Now let's go into some of this other shit. Let's go into the gripes I have with this guy. You know, this guy, I'm gonna go and do it like this. Put it on the screen share. Put it on the screen, motherfucking share. Put it on the screen share one time. So this guy basically says a couple of things. So we're going to go up over here first. First of all, Rekt by Mcgregor, I'm just going to call him Rekt. Rekt said that, Floyd did 1.7 million views per pay-per-view. Well, let's see here. Mayweather's first pay-per-view, boom, right there. Right there. Let me make sure y'all can see that. Okay, I'm looking. Okay. Make sure it's on there. Okay, y'all can see that. That shit did 365,000 pay-per-view buys. It generated $16.5 million. Mayweather's next fight, 375 pay-per-view buys. That generated 16.8 million. Mayweather's next one did 325,000 pay-per-view buys, and that generated 16.3 million. So what are you talking about, Rekt? What are you talking about, Mr. Rekt? You know what I'm saying? So that's just one of them. That's just one of them right there, baby boy. Like, I don't understand. Okay. I think it's moving still. Let me see. I don't understand how exactly can somebody listen to this guy when right there that's automatic in his face. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find some of the other shit I can talk about real quick that he fucked up on, because I ain't that organized over here. You know, so Wilder's 300K pay-per-view buys, that is great. That is great. That's over 25 million. I mean, that's over 25 million. So that Floyd getting 1.7 million pay-per-view buys, that's a lie. What else he said? What else was his lie? Was that Wilder versus Fury. Let's look it up. Pay-per-view buys, right? This article right here says that it was tracking at 300, right? This article right here says 325, right? That's on ESPN. So, let's just say those numbers are somewhat accurate. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say those numbers are somewhat accurate. No matter what I was looking over there, I just didn't want to fuck with it. So let's just say, what do we got here? We got 325. Okay, we got 325,111, right? That's right. Is that right? Is that right? Times 75, right? Right. That's 24 million. That's 24 million. So you mean to tell me they did 24 million in pay-per-view buys, right? They did 24 million in pay-per-view buys, right? And Wilder only got 4 million for that. Right? Yeah. L player, yeah, you're right. Rekt is a dick rider for real. He's an emotional bitch too. He made a video saying that UK turned their backs on him. Yeah, and right after he made a video after that, I made a video of him depicting on him on I did a suicide awareness video for Rekt from Rekt by my I'm just calling him Rekt for Rekt after that. I made a suicide awareness video on him after that. You know what I'm saying? And I just find it funny, how people can actually believe in this shit, and I kind of don't blame them. I'm gonna move this over here so I can see this better. Nah, I'm just gonna move it right there. Just give me a second. I'm gonna read some of these comments on here. We're gonna go down the list of these comments that we see on this thing. He says, no way this Wilder is shit. That's the dude's username. This guy's username is Wilder is shit. Well, you know what is really shitty? Rekt by Mcgregor's microphone. He needs to fix that mic, dude. I don't know what's wrong with it or whatever, whether or not he has the mic all the way down his throat because he likes things in his mouth, or I don't know, man. He needs to fix his microphone, man. It's horrible. So this guy by the name of Wilder is shit. He says, no way is he worth 50-50. In all truth, I think he knows he'll get knocked out against Joshua. So it's more about pricing himself out. Well, he didn't get knocked out against Fury. He didn't get knocked out against Ortiz. Shit. You know what I'm saying? That's a what would you call it? That's an opinion. That's just a guy's opinion. False 444 says, haha, he is not worth 50-50. Definitely not. Laugh out loud. Well, you're not really saying nothing. Now I know this shit is pretty long right here, man. Look at this long ass shit. Who has fucking time to read this? Alpha player said, I think he's a Latin cat too. There's a market for his half stepping on YouTube. There's a bear. Oh my God. Yeah, you ain't lying, because that's all he does. And it works though, because you can see it in his viewer count. People actually, feed into this, or, maybe, who knows? Maybe all these accounts that we see on here right now, like Craig, Paul Houston, Deontay Ducker. See that username, Deontay Ducker? Maybe that's Rekt. This guy says this. Craig says this. There is no justification for whatsoever for 50-50 for either Wow. Wow, he says there is no justification whatsoever for a 50-50 for either Wilder or Fury. I don't think Wilder would take 50 anyways. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? It just, when you read this stuff, how you gonna keep saying that Deontay Wilder is ducking and doing this and the third when Matchroom Boxing offered Dillian White $4 million? So you mean to tell me that this guy has just gave you a trend of lowballing his opponents to feed him to feed his fucking family more riches off the backs of the boxing fans, the people that pay his fucking bills? You know what I'm saying? The people that pay his, yeah, Alpha player. I'm believing those are robot accounts. Something ain't right, man. Something ain't right, L5 player. And I need to start looking to see how many times do they say the same thing over and over again. You know what I'm saying? That you just get on same thing, like, or similar comments. You know what I'm saying? Because if Eddie Hearn is showing a trend against 3 fighters in a row. He did it to Fury, he did it to Wilder, then he did it to White, and now he knows he got to pay White more money or go face Miller in New York. It's this smack in our face. But this guy come up here and say Wilder received $4 million plus upside against Fury. Where are they getting this $4 million from? Where are they getting this $4 million from? I don't get it. 325,000 pay-per-view buys. That's 24 million plus. Where are you guys getting that from? I don't know. That's crazy. And then let's go down the list. Let's go down some more. This Paul Houston guy, or gal, whatever. Thank God, an American channel that is not biased like the LDBC, especially Blue Blood and Fanon. Those channels are the heretic. Oh, God damn. I bet they get a nice backhander from Mr. Heyman. Keep it up, brother, and keep. What the fuck? You have, like, you guys got like Sporting Icons, Hatman, IFL TV, whatever. All those guys are paid by Matchroom Boxing. And you know what? You know how I really know? Oh man, my nose is itching. You know how I really know? Because even Lennox Lewis, even he knows this. Even old Lennox. Let me. Yeah, here we. God damn it! Here it is. I'm trying to find it. I'm getting there. Now I'm just making sure nobody said nothing. Even Lennox Lewis said it. He says it's somewhere in here. He says, I'm gonna read the last one. It's somewhere in here. It's the end. So Lennox Lewis says, my career, I created my own path, chose my own destiny, fought for everything I ever earned, achieved all I ever set out for the spot. In my era, I sought out the best to prove I was the best. So I don't take it lightly when my hard-earned reputation is put in question. I have no problem speaking my mind, which seems to hurt people's feelings, but my views are not and cannot be swayed by a TV commentator contract, favor for a fellow Brit, jealousy of a new crop of talent, or the opinions of a paid keyboard warriors. You see, even he knows. Even Lennox Lewis knows that these guys, some of these cats on YouTube are getting paid. To make these robot troll channels, like L-File Player said, And like I said months ago, that these are they're doing mass communication manipulation. It's one guy with like 500 fucking or how many YouTube accounts, how many Yahoo, how many Omni Sports, how many Box Rekt accounts he can hold, and that's all he does is spread propaganda. Like Wilder getting 4 million for fighting Tyson Fury. See, I just found out where they got the 4 million from. That 4 million was before they figured out that the fucking fight did 325 million pay-per-view buys. Can you count that? Okay, now let's go down the list. This make sure nobody said nothing. Okay, nobody said nothing. This Deontay Ducker guy, he says he knows he ain't worth 50-50. The only difference is that he knows that Joshua desperately wants to be undisputed and is trying to take advantage of the situation. I pray when the fight gets made that Joshua blasts him in one round so the whole world laughs at him and he disappears. Why would you pray? Why would you pray? Like, God ain't got nothing to do with this. Like, these are two men in the ring. He gave them all the tools that they can possess. The only thing that these two fighters can do is get in the ring and do their best. God ain't got nothing to do with this. He gave them everything that they need in life to be successful and all that stuff. And you got to come over here and try to bring some extra shit into the goddamn fight. And what you mean, Joshua desperately wants to be undisputed? If Joshua really was desperate to be undisputed, he would have gave Deontay Wilder what he wanted. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going around over here, not fighting Deontay Wilder and going over there and fighting Joseph Parker because he knew it was the easy route. You see what I'm saying? Next sucker. Leif Erikson, whatever his name is. Somebody said nothing. Oh, yeah, I sent you a link. Hey, L5 player, you got to give me your email first, though, bro. Let's put your email in there. Now, this guy right here, Leif Erikson, he says the reason Ortiz made out to be so big by Wilder fans is simply look at the rest of Wilder's resume. Go give Wilder something. He's fought cruiserweights. Oh, okay. Well, a lot of people fought cruiserweights. But I'm going to tell you this one thing about Ortiz. The reason why Ortiz is in the predicament that he is right now and people don't want to fight him because other fucking trainers know that this dude is about his fucking business. Other fucking trainers, other fucking fighters that has either fucking sparred him or seen him in the gym, watched his fucking tapes, know that this guy means fucking business. Why do you think that fucking every fighter that's worth a damn ain't fighting nobody? They fighting, they mandatory fight, they got the mandatory strap or designator, but they're not fighting nobody. Dominic Brazil, he says he wants to, but he ain't making no moves. He ain't feeling froggy or nothing like that. He ain't making no moves like you would think he would do. It's coming up, L5 Play. You can see it. I'm gonna go down the list of some more of these trolls. Yeah, my internet's kind of slow today. Yeah. I'm gonna go down the list on these trolls real quick. There we go. It's sent. You saw it. You saw it. I'm gonna go down the list again. All right, where is Ho at? Next guy. Now, this guy right here, this Ralph Dawkins guy, I saw him on the Boxing Voice, allowed him to go on there and speak, right? And listen to what this guy says. This guy. I need to stop. I'm trying not to call people out their names, man. I almost did it again. This not so intelligent guy or whatever. I don't know how much he knows about boxing. I don't know how much he knows about life, but negotiations is a two-way street. It's both parties figuring out what both parties is willing to agree on. Both parties have to agree on something. And so you have to meet people in the middle or not meet them at all. You know what I'm saying? Or both parties, they what's up, L5 player? Let me
what up, Michael? How you been?
All right, let me get this one dude out the way, then we can chop it up. We can figure out something else. Now, this next guy, this Ralph Dawkins guy, I was saying how I saw him on the Boxing Voice. He was talking. I don't think he's I don't know too much about the guy, but I didn't hear him. I didn't really pay attention to what he was saying because I saw his face somewhere before, and I already knew off the back that he was a Wilder hater. This guy says Wilder has 25% of the belts, so that should be indication his indication F his plot. 35% would be plenty for him. No way should he turn down 40%. So it's pretty interesting on how some of these guys they put a percentage on these belts. The belts don't have no fucking percentage attached to them unless it's a mandatory, probably. But what the belts have nothing attached to them. See, the man makes the belts. You see what I'm saying? The belts don't make the man. You know what I'm saying? So that 25% of the belt don't mean shit. What means shit is that Deontay Wilder has done 25 million pay-per-views. What means shit that Matchroom Boxing wants to come over here and get some of this sweet, sweet old American pie, this money, this bread, American money. You know what I'm saying? The Zone wants Deontay Wilder versus AJ. Matchroom wants Deontay Wilder versus AJ. But at the same time is they being frugal with the money. They being frugal with the money. You have no place to go. You have no place to go. Now what AJ is going to do, he has an option of fighting Big Baby Miller in New York where nobody knows his name. Nobody. Two of those guys, nobody know who they is. Like some people know about Big Baby Miller, but nobody knows who AJ is. He's going to go over to New York, fight Big Baby Miller. Yeah, get a nice little introduction to the United States. But at the same time, what is the Zone numbers going to do? Jack shit. The Zone numbers can't do shit without Wilder. The Zone numbers can't do shit without Canelo. The Zone shit can't do nothing without Wilder versus Tyson Fury. So why are you saying that 25% of the belts? I mean, he has one belt. He has 25% of the belts. That don't make shit. That don't make sense. What makes sense is how many people are willing to watch you. How many people are willing to come there and pay for a seat? You see what I'm saying? That's the only thing that matters. How much money do you bring to the table? Now, NFL player, man, what you think about this clown?
Which one, Rekt by Mcgregor, or the whole the whole faction in general?
Shit, you can say the
I don't know. Before I get onto those fucking herbs, I wanted to give you a shout out too, man. Like I haven't been able to listen to your shit of late. Got me mad busy, bro. But I've been wanting to jump on with you, man. From the first time I heard this shit, I was like, yo, like, you know, MJ's on point, man. Like fucking so thanks for letting me on too.
I appreciate that, my brother.
Yeah, your shit's gonna blow too, man. Like just keep hacking at it. Like fucking me and Lowe's Dawkins P was talking about you the other day too, man. I actually talked to him
yeah, man. I be getting kind of upset, man, because I'll be wanting us to like do a little thing one day. I've been trying to tell Laws, man, we need to get together and come up with some good talking points, man, and get on a day that we all off at a good time. Cause you know the UK shit, man, they be, you know, I ain't trying to, you know, still the motherfucker sleep and shit, you know, one day I'm off and it's early, you know, it's weekend or something like that, you know, let's get up and let's talk about some boxing or, you know what I'm talking about.
Nah, definitely, man. You freestyle too, man. I could freestyle like Lowe's, cause I was talking to Lowe's like almost an hour last time. Like, you know, that was my first conversation with the man. Like, man, cool dude. You know what I'm saying? But nah, definitely, man. Like once I get my house shit situated in the next couple weeks, then I'm definitely gonna try to like lock things up more like on a consistent basis. But whatever, man.
You more
glad to talk to you anyway, man.
Yeah, you're more welcome to come on, man. You more than welcome to come on. You know, and a lot of people think that, you know, you need a lot of shit to make these fucking videos. You don't need nothing. You just need a computer with and just make sure you don't have a lot of porn on it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And you're good to go. Like, you know, you can do it on your phone. You know, I don't like doing it on the phone because I be fucking up on the I can't see the chat. Like it comes up and it goes away, so I don't like doing it like that. So, you know.
Yeah, I got that problem myself right now. So
yeah, man. So, what do you think about that Lucas Brown, man? That Lucas Brown fight that's coming up, man.
Oof, I'm not gonna be able to sleep for that.
Shit.
That changes everything.
It changed everything for both fighters because oh boy, what's his name again? Tall ass motherfucker. He ain't been doing so good, man, lately.
Oh no, I was being sarcastic, like fucking with the Lucas Brown's kind of.
I wasn't being sarcastic, but yeah, I think you're still right. Like, you know, what's his name? David Allen. It don't matter if he win. It don't matter if Lucas Brown win. It's like once they get up in the top tier guys, is going to be they gonna be nice.
Yeah. Nah, I mean like Lucas Brown, whatever, like bucking out, but those do like I mean like you could just tell like it's like eye test. Like I mean like just because these cats haven't taken an L,
Yeah.
you know what's gonna happen to them when they get up like and fight some real cats like like
This
it's like Jarrell Miller. Like I mean, Jarrell Miller, with the exception, he has that like endurance factor going for him. But Jarrell Miller is a bum. Like if he were to fight even Dillian White, which I don't think much of Dillian White neither. Like as far as thinking that he has a chance at like being able to dominate the division in any sense. But Dillian White would like tear up like Jarrell Miller. I don't think he'd tear him up, but I definitely know he would beat him.
I think it'd be a good fight. I don't know about that one, man, because they be keeping their face like wide open, man. They both
Yeah,
and
they do. They like they're both targets, man. Like they're fucking
yeah.
like but the and White be getting laced up towards the end of fights almost like every time.
Yeah, you
People
do.
act like like
He just got lucky against Derek Chisora. He got lucky. Like Derek Chisora
yeah,
was tired and he's just sitting over there, just like caveman and like throwing, windmills all over the place, leaving himself open. He was it was easy. It was
yeah.
easy. You know what I'm
But
saying? It was,
people act like Dylan White's planning for this. Like, oh, he's trying to make the fight like that. Nah, man. Dylan White's like getting
nah,
by the skin of his teeth,
nah.
by the skin of his teeth, like in a lot of these matches. Now, but I was gonna tell you too, man, like about AJ potentially trying to make his way to the US
He
for
has to.
yeah. But
He,
another thing too, man, like with Big Baby Miller, like my one of my homeboys actually fought in that gym.
mm,
Um and he's cool with like from that area. It's a Starrett City here in Brooklyn. Like it's exit 8 off the fucking Belt Parkway. So like dudes don't think I'm fronting, but like the only dude that's known from that area, like from that particular area, because it's not like all of Brooklyn. Because Saddam Ali is actually from the neighborhood next to mine. Like I know the block he chills. He chills on 73rd and Fifth Avenue. Like the PLO cats. Like shout out to Old Bay Ridge, whatever. But
mm-hmm.
that part of Brooklyn, like that's where Adam Kalnacki trains, like that's where Danny Jacobs trains, and that's where Big Baby Miller trains. And I know dudes that were from that are really close to people that were in that gym that didn't know who Big Baby Miller was until like couple like a year ago. Like
Yeah.
I'm not being sarcastic. Like like nobody like dudes that like boxing and here in Brooklyn, like don't know who the fuck Big Baby Miller is. Big Baby Miller is like a non-presence. Like he's only got any sort of shine because of any like some sort of residual, like off the back of like Wilder and off the back of AJ, because Eddie Hearn's not liked here. Like he got like residual shine because of that. But besides that, like he fights like trash fights. He doesn't fight in New York hardly. He fights in the small Madison Square Garden like back room. That's like 2,000 to 4,000 heads at max.
Mm.
Can't fill that up, like so Big Baby Miller's a non-factor. Like if him fight like AJ fighting Miller is like the equivalent of like Errol Spence fighting fucking like that's like Errol Spence fighting like Josito Lopez, like like
I
as far
I
well
don't
like
know, man.
no.
Because
I'm not saying. I'm saying as far as like the like if you're trying to like bring a fighter from a market into a new market, like Josezito Lopez is probably 10 times more known than what Big Baby Miller is here
yeah.
domestically.
Yeah.
Like and that I'm not saying that Josezito Lopez is like a good fighter or anything like that, but he's just like more known than what Big Baby Miller is. Big Baby Miller's barely registered a splash. He's fighting
I,
on the zone where nobody's watching
and,
him.
and for all that shit talking he was doing, man, he still ain't fought like Juan Duapause, but he could have been and you know what I'm saying? Like he's just a clown, man. And then
Yeah, he dodged his way out of every like reasonable like opponent that was put on him. Like he's like, oh, I'm gonna fight like this bum so I could get the wood belt. Like it's like what? Like who talks like that, bro? Like fucking, you
what up,
should be.
J1 Pro? What up, Lost D? What up, World Breaker? If anybody want to get on, just let me know. I'll shoot you an email. Yeah, I mean, the only matchup that I thought would have been really interesting, like World Breaker said, like two old heads fighting, would have been Lucas Brown and Shannon Briggs. Let's go, champ.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like
That shit
those
would have
matches
been
are like,
funny.
yeah, they're like guilty pleasure matches, but like at the end of the day, it's like such it's like a lack of relevance with the division that's top heavy anyway, man. Like the heavyweights right now, there's four cats that I mean, or four or five
Yeah.
cats that are
Well,
really,
I think it's about to be. It should be 5, man. But it's man, I don't know. It should be. It should
yeah.
be at least 5.
I mean, there's some young cats that are coming up, but like right now at this very moment, I really put. I mean, and I'm being like gracious. It's it's AJ Wilder, like Fury, Ortiz, and I mean, and everybody else on the outside, and I'll put White as the biggest outsider besides those four.
Hey,
So,
hey,
pardon me.
Elias Dawkins said Big Fat Dusty Miller fights in backstreet car parks because he's that shit. And I wrote, yeah, behind KFC.
Nah, but he's not. The thing is, and I know why Laws doesn't like Miller. I know he called him a bag of rice before. Because I mean, my man be talking crazy shit. He's been talking shit for like 3 years. He hasn't fought anybody.
Yeah,
I mean,
and he's been doing it on purpose. He's doing it. See, that's the thing. He's doing this shit on purpose. It's the same shit that Adrian Broner's been doing. Adrian Broner been trying to follow the Mayweather mathematical equation by like sitting over here talking all this shit over and over again, saying this. I don't think that dude is stupid. I think he purposely does this shit so people can fucking fight, so people can hate him or love him. And then that whole hood shit, I did this where the fuck did that shit come from?
Who's that? With AB or with
with AB?
Miller?
With AB, where the fuck did that shit come from? Like, yo, son.
But
Like,
AB fights cats though, at least, and AB fights cats, and AB could tell. I don't fuck with AB like that all like anymore. Like, cause it's kind of like watching a car crash now. But at least AB could sell some shit.
Yeah, you ain't lying. It is like a car crash.
Yeah, like and I feel bad for Duke, like but
I mean, but did you hear what World Breaker? I believe. Don't quote me. I believe this is what he said. He said that he rewatched it with Ak, and they both believe that Adrian Broner won. After they rewatched, they said that your Pac-Man wasn't landing as many punches as they thought he was until they rewatched it. And
I mean,
and I take their eyeballs for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would have to rewatch it again. And I watched it on my phone, but initially, like I had Adrian Broner winning a good amount of rounds before like the 7th round, but once he started getting tagged up, I mean, like it's the same thing, like where he's kind of like praying behind the shot, like he throws everything very loopy. Like once he starts getting hit, like doesn't want to let his hands go. Like it's the same shit. I mean, like yeah, am I gonna watch other? I'll still watch his fights too. I mean, like, cause he's a character. Like the sport like sometimes needs characters, but I wouldn't put my horse like I wouldn't put like my horses behind him, or I wouldn't think that he's
oh hell nah, you better not.
but with him though, I mean, like he's taking on tough competition.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the only thing that's really saving him. You know what I'm saying? Because look at Keith Thurman. Like, out of all the things that Keith Thurman is doing, is the only one that people hating on him is like not letting them belts go and taking all this damn off time over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But other than that, if he was doing what he was supposed to be doing, he'd be in more people's good graces. You know what I'm saying?
It's almost like that. It's with Keith Thurman. It's a similar script to what AJ does, in the sense that you got like a lot of people like, and it's usually like American black cats that really want to get that fight going with whoever,
mm-hmm.
And then there's a big contingent of people that don't like these American black fighters, so like they'll ride with whatever ducking excuses like Thurman will come up with or AJ will come up with, like same
mm-hmm.
argument, and and then that there's like a people like start picking factions, or like people come out of the woodwork and just fucking all of a sudden start riding for Thurman, like, and saying like fucking Errol Spence is like doing this, or Bud is doing that, like fucking or making reasons as to why they shouldn't fight, and like this person isn't on that level. Like it's corny. Like it's the same shit over. It's like I mean, I was seeing that stuff when the Manny Pacquiao Floyd matchup was like fantasy before it materialized, and now I'm seeing it again. And like fucking, it's like the same script.
Yeah,
I
over
mean,
and over again.
yeah, little bits of it change, like, but it's always like, um, you know, the same. You know, it's now I'm like used to it already. I'm acclimated to it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, with like that, like cats like Rekt by McGregor, or like these other channels, like with Homeboy with the fucked up hairline, like with the like what's his face, Counter Punch, fucking they just they just stroke that market, man. Like they just stroke that market, like try to get quick views from the robots and
Oh
from
yeah, they're
the
gonna get it.
oh yeah, they'll get it. But you know what happens when these fights do actually get made, like fucking then when you got to talk about, you know what I'm saying? Like so, like or God forbid your boy gets beat, like Manny Pacquiao got beat. Because back in those days, bro, if you look at, like, even if you go back in YouTube now and look at like some of the stuff that was regarding Mayweather and Pacquiao fighting before the fight, yo, those videos had like 4 million views, some of them.
Yeah.
And like those channels, like, where the fuck are they now? Like, where those cats that were online, like
Probably
heavy, like,
still probably got a checking their Google account, but still at the same time, it's kind of like, that's the kind of shit I don't understand. Is like the whole copyright thing, man. Like, I don't really know how that stuff works, but it doesn't really make any sense that somebody can get their video taken down, or can get a violation to strike because they paid 8 seconds at a time when they allowed 8 seconds at a time, but people are able to play whole fucking fights.
oh, you mean like we're actually like showing like real clips and like real fights?
Yeah. I don't,
Oh,
I
I don't
don't,
know.
I don't get, yeah, because you're not supposed to. But some, like when you see the full fights on YouTube and stuff like that, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, how is this on YouTube? You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? But then if fucking World Breaker, if Retro, because he got blood got a few times. If he
yeah.
do eight
Blood that got
seconds,
recently. He was saying recently that he was having trouble.
yeah, and it's stupid because you can do that. And then not only that is there's an intellectual right like thing that allows you to report news and critique things for educational purposes and for news purposes. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand exactly how this whole YouTube and copyright infringement shit work, but I just think it's a bunch of BS. Like,
Yeah, I'm not sure about any of that stuff, like, because I never really read into it. But I do subscribe to the notion that I think like YouTube does pick and choose like who they want to target, like,
yeah.
it's not like one big matrix that like they choose, like, where it's done by robots. Sometimes I think those are like individuals actually like picking out certain channels that they want to
Yeah.
bang
I mean,
on, like.
because if you think about it, though, it's like you got Matchroom Boxing, you got DAZN, you got PBC, you got Fox, you got all these cats around here, right? But come on, man, you can't tell me that maybe they ain't paying for some little extra things here and there or something like that to be done on YouTube, like to look at the dudes like Google search thing, or to block a few people, for a couple months, or take this video down, a streamlined process. You know what I'm saying? How the fuck you get your video taken down like that for a picture? Not even a fucking video, not an audio, but for a picture, like within like a day.
Yeah,
When
sometimes I think it goes deeper than that with these things, though, man. I mean, I don't want to
Yeah.
get your video taken down, like, in
No,
in
I
my
don't.
exhibition.
Oh, if I do, man, I'll be on somewhere. I'll get on. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you ain't
No,
gonna hurt. You ain't gonna. It ain't
one of
deep.
these days we'll talk on the regular phone, and we'll discuss that, and then maybe we can come out with a real attack on those things. I don't want to come off the cuff with something, like, because
No, that's
I think
cool.
it's a lot deeper than that with these things, like, man, sometimes.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, but like you said, you know, with the whole, yeah, we could talk about that later because I had something to say, but yeah, I could hold back on it. Yeah, man. But it is what it is, man. You know.
Yeah, and the thing is too that you're opinionated, I'm opinionated, and I think that would be like a 2 hour of power, a 3 hour of power like video, like
Yeah.
fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like so, the I would like to give the topic it's full due.
Yeah, and that's what
And
I was, and that's the reason why I was saying the whole thing, like you know, Meat Laws and KT, like get together and like you know, you want to get on. I don't care, man. You know, we get on like you know, we could get on Google Hangout without going live or something. You know what I'm saying? And we could you know take notes, talk about some stuff that we want to you know make a video about. Get on Law's channel, do one. Get on his channel, do one, and we could just rotate, switch around and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So
nah, definitely, man. I'm with it, bro.
I don't,
Yeah,
I don't, you
man.
know, I don't mind talking about anything. I don't mind talking about other things other than boxing. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, certainly. Yeah, you when the first day I heard your shit, you were talking about what like all kinds of stuff. Like I mean, and you held an open forum as to like what people wanted to discuss too. Like you were talking about some court decisions that were made. That was cool. That first time I was listening to your shit too, I was mad. I think I worked like 12 hours in a row, and I was that was the first time I ever heard your shit. Period. Like it just happened to
Mm.
come on, and then I was eating soup, and I drank a shot of Patron, bro, and I caught like the illest like allergic reaction like in my face. Like my shit was like all swollen up. But I
Oh
was
shit,
listening
that
to your
ain't
shit,
good.
like yeah. But I think it's because I was eating the soup like hard body, like fast, and plus like the shot of like Patron, like
Nah, dude, I
fucking.
think that was allergic reaction, homie.
It could have been, I don't know, bro. And then you were spitting the fire too, so I was like, yo, like who's this new cat? Like fucking Nah, but definitely, man, I was very enthused about, and I am still enthused with your channel and whatnot, man. I like the way you come with your shit, man. Like fucking, I think it's gonna become a bigger thing too, man. And I'm not being saying that because I got you on the phone, man. Like, cause I told Lo, me and Lowe's were talking about you, like I said the other day, man. Like fucking, I like listening
Yeah,
to your shit, bro.
Laws is in the chat room right now.
That's my boy, bro.
I asked him if you want to get on. He didn't say nothing. Like he too busy.
Nah, it's probably late over there too, man. Like I think over there it's probably like 12:30 or later. I don't know. I can't even see what time it is on my phone.
Yeah, he said.
Yeah,
I guess his son's room like above where he be talking. So, yeah,
yeah. You from Cali too, right?
yeah. But I live in Michigan right now. No, yeah,
Oh shit, it sucks.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm actually going to Cali in a few weeks.
oh yeah, what
Yeah.
part?
Well, I'm touching down in fucking Gomorrah, San Francisco, but I'm going up to Monterey after.
Yeah, yeah, man. Get you some good seafood. Don't go to man. Get you some good seafood, man. I don't know how far that is from the ocean, but it could be. But even so, they should have like a decent seafood markets over there. Get you some good tacos, burritos, and stuff like that. That's what I be
Yeah,
doing, man. I be trying to find them little Italian pockets too, like the little like see if they got like Italian like little pocket community and go over there and get some of that good Italian food. And
yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's like
I be traveling. I travel a
yeah,
lot too, man.
that's what I
The
be doing, man.
Nah, but I went out there last year or the year before. That shit was fly as hell, man. Like, cause I never been
Mm.
to Cali before that.
Oh,
But
where you at? Where you at though?
I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's cold as fuck. Cold as
Yeah, but
fuck right now.
it was mad cold out here a couple days ago. It was nice today though. But yeah, like but I be traveling all over the place, man. I'll be in Baltimore, DC, like Miami all the time. Like I go everywhere, man. And
Shit, I wish I could.
nah, I mean like I that's like kind of like my vacations. Like I take the family with me
Yeah,
most times too, man. Like I don't like going to the tropics and shit like that. Like
that's
that shit's like played out.
not for me, bro. Not like Jamaica and stuff like that. Shit.
It's dope, but like I just don't like seeing like fucking like hicks. Like when I try, like I went on a cruise ship one time. I was like, man, what the fuck did I do? Like it was like a bunch of hicks on there, fucking khaki
Oh yeah,
shorts.
nah, that's a whole that's something different. Yeah, them cruise ships they don't give you the whole you don't get the full like effect. I'm talking about like actually like being there for like a week. You know what I'm saying? And having some point of contacts already before you get there. You know what I'm saying and stuff like that. So it's just not like you just finding your way. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, definitely. I like to get entrenched in the
yeah,
area that I go to.
yeah. Like that one dude. He got a pretty cool channel. White dude. He be going back and forth to Jamaica. It's called Ross Kitchen.
I never seen that.
Yeah, it's called Ross Kitchen. I think it's called Ross Kitchen. And they be walking around Jamaica. He be doing like little little dishes and stuff like that, little Jamaican dishes. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Just it's a pretty cool channel, man. It's a pretty cool channel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll check it out, bro.
Hey,
Nah, but
Laws, I sent you a link, man. I sent you a link, Laws.
yeah, jump on too, man. Nah, but before Lowe's jumps out too, like because I know like you're one of the only channels too that like has like vile for or vitriol for like the channels that I hate, like Homeboy with the fucked up hair and Rekt, bro. Even before me and you spoke, like fuck, because I remember like that was another reason why I fucked with your channel too, because you when you were mentioning channels that you couldn't stand, you put a picture of the of that fucking idiot Count Counter Punch on the screen, and I can't stand that dude, bro. I remember like the first time I heard him, I was driving to DC, and I was like, all right, you know, it's a brother, so maybe he'll be objective or. And I'm like, man, this dude makes my skin crawl, bro. Like, then fucking then I saw that I was a constant. Yo, this dude, AJ could murder like a kid or some shit, bro. He won't report that. They'll go like quiet for like 3 days. That's what all these dudes like.
Yeah,
You know, Matchroom will like half step, or AJ would half step, and they'll go quiet for 3 days rather than even mention shit like that, bro. Like fucking, you know, and then God, like you know, Deontay will, like or somebody from this camp will like mutter like something, and all of a sudden it's on them. Like you know, oh, like Deontay doesn't want this fight, or like
oh yeah,
it's all about money with
and then they
Deontay.
act like they don't listen to nobody in the LDBC, but they be right. They be listening to it on a daily basis. They be in there in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So you know they could act like they don't. They could duck and they could hide and all that stuff. But you know we still know where they at. You know they right
Yeah,
around the corner, just a few clicks away, and they don't even really been talking about like I've been looking at. I just searched them on YouTube just to see like what the name of their videos is or whatever the case may be. You know, they're not talking about, you know, Eddie Hearn offering Dillian White 4 million and what's the reasoning behind him what's the reasoning behind Matchroom Boxing offering Dillian White 4 million when Dillian White is shopping around and everybody think it's just the PBC. It ain't just the freaking PBC. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's
definitely.
not. What makes you think that Dillian White didn't go to the zone? You know what I'm saying? He's his own dude, or Golden Boy, or Bob, or Jay Prince, or whoever.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely, man.
you
Nah, it's
know.
because that's what they fear, though, man. Like they like all they'll never like mention anything about top rank fucking like as a you know like they'll every time it's like vitriol like to a promoter or a promotion company, it's always PBC with
Oh
all
yeah,
these channels. It's like the constant theme.
yeah. The
Bob,
PBC always get the short end of the stick on their
yeah,
channels.
Bob Arum been snaky like for decades. Like if you watch the sport at all, like Bob Arum's been grimy. There's people that like Bob Arum's biggest moneymaker probably ever like just dipped on him. Now he's in the PBC. Like you know, but it's always like PBC that these dudes have like some shit to say about. And I'm not saying PBC is perfect, but like you know, to me, I mean, they're putting channels on Fox 5 here in New York free. Like you know, it's a good thing, man. Like you know, more boxing, the better.
Yeah,
Like I don't have to get an app.
and they screwed though because like I've been trying to tell my buddies like if Dillian White go, who they ain't got nobody. Who else they got? You know what I'm saying? If Dillian White go, you know it's about that's like a trend. It's like a trend. Boxers keep leaving. If boxers start making money and start leaving you, something ain't right.
Yeah, I think ultimately he's gonna stay there. Like man, I think he's just trying to get his chips up.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean that could be it too.
yeah, but even you know like it's not the first time like Dillian White had something bad to say about Eddie Hearn.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
he do be giving him, he be digging in Eddie's chest.
yeah, a lot of these dudes do, man. Like you know, so people act like you know it's like a new thing, and you know, I always mention this too, man. I didn't know Eddie Hearn from Adam, like, and then I started seeing him a few years before, like the Anthony Joshua thing. I forgot with who,
Mm-hmm.
but it would be these UK fights, and like motherfuckers like booing him like crazy. I'm like, all right, you know, like at least you know, like I wonder why. You know, I never really like investigated into it. But every match that Eddie Hearn has in the UK, they always boo him. Like you know, like when the
Yeah,
crowd like
yeah,
when it's his team. So
because I think I don't know. I think I mean every time I hear Eddie Hearn getting booed, it makes me believe that they're booing because they're not fucking satisfied. Like something like they're not satisfied about something.
He's just in
Or
the way of these fights happening, man. At the
yeah,
end of the day, with all these cats.
you have I don't know how many cars they have. I think it's like 15 cars they have for these Wembley dates. You know, people in there, they all drinking all day. It's a straight up mad sausage event, 90K strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
Constantine.
you know, and it's like, and it's like, I would be tired watching like some of them fights. Like some of those fights in that night, they're boring. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like, but when you read the comments though, like these dudes like, oh, Eddie Hearn's a genius, like, you know, or like, you know, like Eddie Hearn got his foot on like such and such's neck, like, but you've never seen that materialize in like real life, like, you know, like and in a short spurt, like, you know, with these with people having to boo him, like that's a 30-second thing, like he's talking and they're booing him the whole time, every fight I've seen him at, you know, so it's like
that's weird. As you said that the whole ain't nothing materialized because.
But like a lot of these dudes that be commenting, though, these dudes that be commenting too, they've never been to a fight, probably more likely than not. They're probably fat as shit. Like they don't get out, like they probably haven't tasted fresh air since like September. You know, like that. And these dudes be on the internet heavy, bro, all day, like just pumping out that vial, bro, like fucking, and it's directed in this direction, like, you know, with the LDBC and with a lot of our American black fighters, like, you know,
and
like
yeah, go ahead.
Nah, go ahead.
Yeah, but it's like they don't know that like it's like they are all on their own. Like each and every one of those guys are on their own. Yeah, sometimes they get on each other's live streams and stuff like that, but they are on their fucking own. Like there's one thing that you like I said it the other day, like you can't even fuck with the LDBC. Like how can you even try to fuck with the LDBC when okay, yeah, sometimes motherfuckers do be wrong, but don't nobody fucking care. Don't nobody care enough to not admit when they're wrong. Like they'll do it. These UK channels, they're all on their own. They never admit when they're wrong. And they always well, I wouldn't call it attacking because they're not doing nothing. I would say they're trying to provoke YouTube commenters versus YouTube commenters, boxing fans versus other types of boxing fans. They always try to put people against each other, but it hasn't been working because as you can see, Blood's channels is always getting new numbers. Black Fight Fan TV's always getting new numbers. 78's always getting new numbers. Everybody is always getting new subscribers. When the opposition is sitting up over there and stagnant, they can't do nothing else but talk about boxing. And when they do talk about boxing, the only thing that sells for them is Deontay Wilder.
Yep.
And it's sad though. Well, there's two things that sell for them. Talking about Deontay Wilder and talking about anybody in the LDBC like 78, World Breaker, Fanon, and the big guys. Like as soon as they start talking about them and says anything remotely, it don't even have to be true. It could be dead smacking your mother. It could be dead smacking your face, and everybody can just like can listen to it on YouTube or go look it up. You know, and find it within 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes. They won't even go look it up.
Nah, they
like,
don't care.
you know what I'm saying? Like they be like, it's either a combination between their robot accounts, their paid accounts, or they just like to hear the misery and the downfall of somebody else by any means necessary. Like they're not boxing fans. They're just UK. They're just UK nationalists.
Well, I think that a lot of those cats are American too, man. Like, we got a lot
of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of hate in this. You know, a lot of dudes be hating in this country too, man, or hating certain ethnicities.
Hold up. Laws D said, who do you think he will put on? He will put on in the Wembley date? I don't even know, man.
That's even if they retain that Wembley date, which I think they will.
Well, remember said don't. Eddie said don't be surprised if AJ fights in June, so maybe if they can get Dillian, then June would be the Big Baby Miller fight, and then at the end of the year, he probably do a mandatory or try to offer Deontay Wilder another 40% or flat rate offer.
Yeah, I think Eddie Hearn might be putting a concert on that date. If not, or fucking but I think they like at the end of the day, like the Dillian White AJ fight is gonna be the one that materializes. Like I think the
Hey, you know gonna be at that gonna be at that concert?
Who's that?
Sweet
Oh
Caroline.
yeah.
Bump, bump, and that Neil Diamond.
Yeah, definitely,
He
bro.
gonna be there.
Yeah, man. But I think that's the fight it's been the fight that they've been talking about making like for years with the Dillian White and AJ.
Yeah,
I
you
think
ain't
he's just trying
lying.
to squeeze them.
There's
But
another.
and the thing is too, Dillian White could squeeze the shit out of AJ this time around, man, because like
I've been
they're
saying he
kind of
should.
stuck there.
I've
Like
been saying he should. I've been saying. I
yeah,
mean, if I was Dillian White, I wouldn't. If you're gonna give Joseph Parker 32, 34, 35% when he doesn't even do pay-per-view in the UK, but Dillian White does pay-per-view in the UK, and I would assume Dillian White is worth maybe 40% because he does pay-per-view in the UK. Yeah, he doesn't have any belts, but how can you give him less than what you gave Joseph Parker?
yeah, for sure.
You know
And
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
and there's no other way. Like, I mean, he has only two routes to go. Either like they fight Dillian White, or take a L on like the stadium date and not fill the date because Khan's not gonna fight Kell Brook.
Oh,
And
I'm pretty sure. I forget who they're gonna get in that day, but they're already in the works for that. They just need. I think really what they're doing is their main thing right now is the headliner. They
like
don't
for
have
the
a
April date.
they don't have they don't have a headliner.
Well, like you mean somebody outside of AJ, like or
Yeah,
like or some.
they don't have a headliner.
Yeah, that's a tough one though, man. Like, I mean, like I'm not saying that it's impossible. And that's another thing too. I wanted to touch on. I'm not saying that it's impossible, like for them to put, but it's kind of like short, like you're kind of like running against time too. I mean, they could also let the date go by and just take the L. Like I don't know how much they would have to pay out. Like if
Shit,
they
shit.
yeah
I don't think it's you know, I don't know, man.
yeah I mean
I would think it'd be a couple mil. I
could
would think
be.
I would think it'd be, but then if they lose that probably they could probably like I don't know how taxes is over there, but they could probably write that off as a loss.
That's I'm not sure how that works. Like I
Yeah.
mean I wouldn't know, but it's definitely it's they would definitely have to come out of pocket for that. Like or and that's definitely a factor. Like if whether they just try to like ride out and make that fight with Dillian White or try to like look for the Miller match. But it's only
Yeah.
them two cats that he could fight, man. Like you ain't gonna try to like on short notice try to hype up some other shit like Usyk
No,
or
Usyk ain't even gonna
Gomez.
do it, man. I read
Yeah,
that
I don't think he's
article on
gonna do it either.
WBN, man. It's like, it's kind of like I got the notion that they tried to what's that word? Like get some clicks for the article by wording it funny. Like Usyk plans on fighting some, top tier heavyweight fighters is heavyweight coming out or whatever they put it at. And I'm like, dude, the dude ain't got no business doing that. And I was like, even if it was to fight Anthony Joshua in Wembley, that's not a good look on him because and then the next paragraph they're like, well, we're trying to go out, we're trying to plan it out to where it's in the best interest of the fighter. And I'm like, oh, see right there, best interest of the fighter. The best interest of the fighter in planning it out would be to get him acclimated.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Not just get him in there and rush. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody can't have a heavyweight title fall in their lap at 17 fights. Everybody can't fight a Charles fucking Martin. Everybody don't get that at 17 fights. You know what I'm saying? Some people end up getting, if it wasn't a weak link, a prime, young, maybe 27 to mid 30-year-old Klitschko.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So, Lawrence Dawkins also said he will have to fill it somehow, or he have to pay Wembley Stadium big money, bro. Yeah, Lawrence D. I think it'd be a couple. I think that's a couple million, bro. I think it'd be somewhere under 5. And then,
Yeah.
I think it'd be somewhere under 5. And I think Wembley would probably be like would probably. You get that kind of like 3 strikes and you're out type of deal. Like you're not in the good graces anymore even though you did pay for it and stuff like that, but it was still money that, Wembley, whoever owns it, was looking forward to capitalizing off of. But somebody else could have took that and they could have got more money. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And they holding shit up. Around April. I don't know if that's definitely not. It shouldn't be the rainy season. I don't think it is. But I know it's not over here. But it don't look good. It don't sound good, because what if that happens again? And then what if it happens again? Is Wembley gonna be like, I want proof of funds before you even fucking think about booking a date with us again?
Yeah, and who knows whether the white AJ thing will sell in Wembley, because that last fight with Povetkin was looking mighty shaky, man. Like even after giving away tickets,
Oh, come on,
that shit
man.
was
Yeah.
definitely not packed. Like that looked very that was a somber atmosphere in there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
but
I don't think that was. I don't think that was. I think it was a good fight, but I don't think. I think that when people looked at the sports betting spread, I think people. I don't think people really thought it was going to be all that.
yeah, but like the stadium was like it was pretty dire in there, man. Like, it wasn't like packed, or like they were like it looked like literally like 75%, and I don't know or at most, and I'm giving it like so like a little bit more clout, and I know it was raining that day too, like when he fought Povetkin, but that shit was definitely not packed, and they'll stick it out for the rain in the UK, man. Like I'll give it up to them on that. But another thing too, I wanted to mention, I was like that we were talking about before, man. Like, because they always say about like AJ selling out stadiums and all that stuff. There's a lot of cats in the UK that sell out stadiums, though, man. Amir Khan can sell out a stadium in the
Yeah.
UK at this current venture, man. Like, or a lot like what's his face, the guy who was actually represented by Matchroom, that he retired, he does commentating now, that he got beat by Andre Ward. He was in the Super Six tournament.
I think I
The
know what you're
white
talking about, but yeah, I don't know about Wembley, but there are stadiums that they can fill out.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
like AJ didn't fight every fight at Wembley too, man. Like, and his last fight with Povetkin didn't sell out. Like, these dudes, like, they'll try to run game on you though, like, with these half truths, and that's not just Matchroom that does that, or Eddie Hearn, or so the comments too, like, oh, he's not selling out stadiums. Like, yo, my man, like AJ's last fight didn't sell out a stadium. What are you talking about? Like, or like Dillian White's selling out like these his last fight like in a couple of seconds. Yeah, but Dillian White didn't fight like in a big stadium when he fought Chisora this last time around too.
Hold up.
Like that. And according to Sky too, like Dillian White,
Okay.
I think versus Chisora made less than 9 million like bucks like on pay-per-view.
Oh shit.
Hey, that ain't got shit on. Like Wilder like reportedly made fucking with when you factor everything in, they said it made it like in the 40s, I think, like not just pay-per-view, but like with other um venues where they showed the fight.
Yeah, and that's another. I mean, I know I said 24, 25 when I was commenting on all that Rekt by Mcgregor stuff. I just totally forgot about all that, because that was something that Fanon had covered. He covered the he went through and he looked through, I forget what it was called, but he showed that there's a research group out there in the UK, and the pay-per-views and stuff like that. Forget what it's called. But anyways, at the end of the
Babs,
day, huh?
I think it's called Babs, right?
Yeah, I think it is too. He basically like proved that, hey man, there's if this is anything like what we got up over, oh, Barb.
Barb,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, he basically proved that, hey, they did good numbers over there too, over there in the UK. Well, they did good numbers over there. Granted, at what the time it was, you know what I'm saying. So, people can say whatever they want to. People can say whatever they want to and stuff like that. But even if it's 25, even if it's, I don't care what it was. They could have did 10, 15, 20 mil. It doesn't matter what it is. It's something, and something is better than nothing. And at the same time, is that would still be something that Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury can contribute to the next fight. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Or what Deontay Wilder could contribute to the Anthony Joshua fight. But the main thing that Deontay Wilder contributes to Anthony Joshua is the American market. This is where his fighter has always wanted to be. This is where Matchroom Boxing has always wanted to be. They just don't. They just never. They just don't know how to get over here. You know what I'm saying? And I don't understand. I don't understand. Damn, some wife outside bumping that music. I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, how can they sit here and well, I know why they're doing it, and I can understand why they're doing it and all that stuff. But it's just if you got the shit right in front of you, and this guy is telling you that he's coming over here to take over America, the transatlantic slave trade or whatever he fucking said. He's coming over here to take over America. He doesn't fucking take over. The zone doesn't do good. What is his next best? What is his next best thing to do to get the zone going? Fighting Deontay Wilder. How do you get to Deontay Wilder? By giving him what he wants. Why would you give Deontay Wilder what he wants? Because if I don't give him what he wants, I can't get what I want. You know what I'm saying? It's easy. How much is Undisputed worth to you? How much is being successful, Matchroom Boxing being successful in the United States? How much is that worth to you? How much is it worth to you for the zone being successful in the United States and not suing your fucking ass? How much is that worth to you? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, you know, and then when they make these talking points, they make it seem like, you know, like Deontay Wilder's nowhere near the threshold, like that fuck, you know. And I mean, my God, like he just passed you in your biggest match, like which was against Klitschko. Like they made more revenue with like Tyson Fury fighting Wilder like than you ever made, and with like, you know, fighting Klitschko, which was like their highest seller.
Yeah,
like so,
and
like
Klitschko was the A side.
you could contend that notion. You could certainly contend that Klitschko was the A side in that fight.
Klitschko sold them tickets and them pay-per-view numbers. That wasn't Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua helped. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a Brit. You know, but really, to tell you the truth, more people knew who Klitschko was in the UK versus Anthony Joshua, and not only that is more people knew who Klitschko was over here internationally. So
yeah,
you know this dude, and nobody could and nobody. It seemed like nobody over there in the UK that's, you know, and Klitschko don't care. Klitschko don't care what people say about him. You know what I'm saying? He's like, whatever, man. I see you in the ring. You know you can't just, you ain't gonna get in here and push me around. You know what I'm saying? He lets the boxing speak, but some of these and then the most thing that's really funny though that I get though is that why does Eddie Hearn chooses to fix his lips to get out here and do interviews on a daily basis? Why? He don't have to. And then not only that is, why does he choose to say certain things that he don't have to? He don't have to sit over here and talk about why he can't make the Deontay Wilder fight, why Deontay Wilder is not answering him, why Fury didn't answer him, why you know, I mean, how he got Dillian White to where he was. He doesn't have to sit over here and explain nothing to us. But he chooses to explain shit he chooses to explain, in my opinion, he chooses to explain the things because he's wrong.
Yeah, and you know, he got a lot of dudes that like ride for him that won't contend anything he says. So he needs to give them something to chew on, like, you know, because when he says something that's a lie, they're definitely not saying like, you know, oh, Eddie, like I think you overstepped on that one. That's bullshit. You know, they'll just act like they ain't hear it.
Laws D got a question. He said, do you think part-time Keith Thurman will win easy at the end of the weekend?
Oof, I don't know, bro. Because I mean, I actually like believe it or not, I used to sort of fuck with Josecito. Like I think he fucked himself up by moving up in weight back in the day. Like that was many moons ago. But I haven't seen Josecito fight fucking in ages. I don't know when's the last time before. But Josecito, I mean, he's a tough customer, but I think Keith Thurman's gonna make short work of him because I sort of subscribe to the notion that Keith Thurman wasn't injured. Like all this time, man. I think he was fronting. I think he
You
just
know what? That could, I mean, but if you, I mean, that's possible, but you know, he would have to do some work because I'm pretty sure that he has to release that stuff to sanction the body. But I wouldn't. There's you could pay somebody to say your shit is broke, but yeah, you ain't lying. But maybe he lost interest and he just didn't know how to hang it up. And then you know what I'm saying? Like maybe he has some personal shit going on, and you know,
yeah, I don't know. Like it just kind of seems like he flipped the script on us. You know, like when he was first coming up, like even like when he was calling out the hard hitting Paulie Malignaggi, like he was talking all this stuff about not wanting to fight on pay-per-view because he wanted to give people like free fights. But
mm-hmm.
I mean, like now he's like hard on Pacquiao's ass, which is gonna be a pay-per-view if they ever did fight, which I don't know if that'll materialize.
Yeah.
So it's like he sort of like flipped it, and he's even when he was injured, he mentioned Pacquiao a few times. So I mean, he sort of flipped the script on us, man. I can't ride with that. Like with Keith, and I used to love Keith Thurman, man. Like I liked when he fought Danny Garcia, and I like Danny Garcia too, or I like Danny Garcia too. But
Yeah.
I knew Keith Thurman was gonna whoop his ass, or I knew Keith Thurman was gonna win.
I
You
mean,
know,
I just don't understand. I think they need to change the rules that like motherfucker, like no hard feelings, but you can't be out the ring that goddamn long.
yeah, it's too
Like
much, man.
you know
Yeah,
what I'm
that was a
saying?
while ago, bro.
And, you know, McGregor did it with the UFC, and they finally stripped his ass. But I would assume that like, hey man, you get 6 months, you get a review. If it don't look like you're gonna be able to fight within a year, we snatching that strap. As soon as you come back, anytime you ready for the strap to get it back, you get the opportunity to fight the guy who got your belt. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's like way more fair, man. And I would even go as far as to say a year. Like, I mean, I wouldn't like a year, but like but Keith Thurman shit, yeah, that's been a little wild, bro. Because when he fought Danny Garcia, I was on I happened to go out and bought like to Boston, and that was like a little while ago, man. Like when that fight happened, like he hasn't been doing shit since then, man. Like, but it's just like a lot of like with these fighters too, man. Like
Oh,
I think society in general, man, they don't like taking that L.
hold
And
up. What's up, Marquez Johnson? Hey, I mean, let me read these comments real quick. If Eddie
sure.
just kept his mouth shut and made the big fights in front of him, he would be a better situation. Oh man, he would. I would have to give it to him as a promoter of the year. Laws D said Sky Sports TV always bullshit about pay-per-view sales in the UK, and that's a fact. Yeah, Fanon threw that out, and everybody else looked that shit up. It ain't. It's that's all that shit's factual. What was you saying, L5 player?
Yeah, but now with I was just saying about Thurman half stepping. Now, but based on what they were saying too, like I know I like a lot of those Sky numbers are bullshit, and I was going like when I said about the Dylan White versus Derek Chisora part two selling 9 million, that was less than 9 million. That was according to Sky. Sky be bullshitting for sure, but
Yeah.
even with them bullshitting, 9 million in the grand scheme of things ain't shit. And Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder sold almost twice as much as that fight, like than what Dillian White Chisora Part Two sold. You know, also too, man. Another thing, like I was just thinking about, like that if AJ like they're gonna have trouble selling AJ versus Dillian White
Oh,
like
you ain't lying.
in April. Yeah, but imagine if fucking Deontay Wilder fought Dillian White in April. Like that shit was definitely sell out.
Yeah,
Like so.
and then not only that is like that would take all the fucking thunder because Tyson Fury would be like, dude, you you gonna give me that 50-50?
Yeah. Tyson Fury versus Dillian White would sell out in fucking April.
Oh yeah.
Deontay Wilder versus Dillian White would sell out in April. AJ's ass is the one that's declining, that's having trouble selling these fights.
I mean, but the thing about it is, like you're saying, is like the only reason why people are getting away with the whole notion that AJ could do this and AJ could do that. But it's not, ain't nothing, there's nothing proven that's saying that nobody else can do it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing saying that nobody else can sell out Wembley, like when you sell Wilder and Fury. There's nothing out there saying that he can do it. And Eddie Hearn won't even speak of it. He never, I don't think he ever has spoken his life. What if Wilder fought White at Wembley? And if I wonder what his response would be. Would he be like, it won't even do half? If that shit won't do half, why the fuck is AJ versus White doing half when they already fought? It's a voluntary rematch.
Nah, it's an ass fight too, man. Like, you know, and I mean, I don't even want to like. Well, actually, I will touch upon like the whole White ducking Chisora thing, like because they were saying that the Chisora White would sell more than White versus Ortiz. Fucking I don't think that like White Chisora sold more, like would have sold. I think like White Ortiz would have sold more than like what this bum ass White Chisora match did. Just on the fact that like it was you had that Deontay Wilder association, like this is the dude that almost beat him. You know, people were like acting like they had this big marketing push going for fucking old ass like Chisora fighting Dillian White Part 2 at that. You know, like they couldn't market fucking Luis Ortiz. So it's basically like there's no way in God's green earth what like that Ortiz is gonna get a match with anybody. Like it seems like, you know, they're just gonna chalk it up to like the fact that he doesn't speak English or like fucking that he's an old man. Meanwhile, you're fighting like Chisora, who's also old and like nowhere near the top 10 in rankings. Like, you know, like it's just like a lot. Like I mean, there's a lot of that talk that goes on, man. Like it's just like fucking bullshit, half-ass talk, like clear lies, like, you know, and people just run with it, you know, like people just make that like the dialogue and like they don't contend it, like, or certain people don't contend it, you know, and that's one thing, like you know, like one thing with a lot of these LDBC channels, motherfuckers go on live, bro, every day. Every day somebody's on live, like, you know, like a lot of these guys, they don't go.
Hold up. What's up with all these shoe boxes? All those shoe boxes. What's in there? Are there shoes in there? For who?
A brother, girlfriend.
Oh, I would have said, oh, them goddamn, that's some money in them boxes. I'm gonna sell them hoes on eBay. No, she got like a couple boxes of all those shoes in the cut, and I was like, they've been there for like a couple months now.
That's the 20s and 50s, bro.
Yeah, so I was like, I know that's at least about $75 a piece. I'm joking.
That's all your 20s and 50s, man. Like now you got it. Now you already burned through the hundreds for the year.
Yeah,
my man hustling out in Michigan.
No, those are for like my old lady's Nigerian, so like some of the shoes, like the Louis Vuitton shoes and stuff like that, or whatever. I don't buy that shit. They can't get over. They don't have like at the store there. She'll buy them here for them, and then send it over there.
That's what's up. Shout out to Nigeria too. The Green Eagles, I think that's their soccer team.
Oh, I don't even know. I think she's a Manchester fan.
Nah, that's what's up.
Yeah. I don't watch soccer, so I couldn't tell you.
Nah, I be fronting like I do, man. I don't really do that.
Nah, man, I don't front. I watch it with my Jamaican buddies and sometimes with her, but I can't do it, bruh. It's cool sometimes, just like, especially when you're around the dudes and you're drinking, and then like you know what I'm saying. You create dialogue, trying to learn the sport. Y'all drinking, y'all having fun. You know what I'm saying. And then after a while, you kind of get like into it. But then you know, but it's not like football. It's not like basketball for me. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same.
Off subject though, what teams you fuck with? Like, what other sports you fuck with though?
I don't right now. The only thing I do is I play some pro football, man. I don't even watch football really no more. The only thing I really watch football, like when I watch it, I just look at route running and coverage. That's the only thing. I don't really. My team was San Diego Chargers, but you know they moved to LA, and I'm kind of pissed off about that. So it's gonna be a couple of years until I'm back a Chargers fan. But it just hurt my feelings a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Growing up and then never winning the Super Bowl, and always getting close, never getting key players that you're supposed to be getting. Then they hold the city hostage to build a new stadium, and they moved to LA because they didn't get the new stadium. You know what I'm saying? But you want a new stadium, but you don't want to win a Super Bowl. So,
that was shiesty.
They hold.
I think they'll go back. I think they'll go back to San Diego too. Believe it.
They don't have no motherfucker. They should have stayed. Like with the team that they had this year, they could have got more. They could have got more people in there. I mean, the running back looking good. I mean, San Diego always had like decent running backs, but the problem has always been is this stupid ass offensive line, and never having no really, in my opinion, no standout fucking receiver.
Yeah, they always have like one good receiver or like one good tight end and a receiver. Like,
yeah, they could have.
But I think they'll go back to San Diego though, man.
They could have easily been like, you know what, Chad Johnson, bring your ass over here. We don't even really need to throw you the fucking ball. We just need you to like give these guys a look. As soon as these motherfuckers slip, it's a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? As soon as they don't get, you know what I'm saying? Just get these guys to understand that we're gonna throw these short shits, but if you slip up on this long shit, it's a wrap. And they do, and no team wants to do it. So Chad Johnson and Terrell Owens, I just think they got blackballed out the league, and I think it's real easy for somebody. I think it's real easy for a black guy to get a black guy and somebody that and a Latino dude that look like he's like a little bit gang affiliated to get blackballed out of the fucking league quick.
It's more black dudes though, man. They playing black. That's in every sport, bro.
Yeah,
like with all these sports, like people be getting black. Well, the NFL is like the most out of all the major sports. The NFL is more like out and about, like with their racist shit, like with the quarterback stuff, like all these like non-black quarterbacks, like never getting shine. Even you see that even on the high school and college levels.
Yeah,
like they won't because you go to these leagues like in Florida and in Texas. They be having some killer like black quarterbacks, bro. Like, and they're like, as soon as they make it anywhere in college or in the NFL, man, you see them trying to make them into another position or like into like a non-throwing like quarterback.
It's stupid though, because like I always said, is like, yeah, but they even tried to do the whole thing with Michael Vick, man, and the shit didn't work. And I heard they tried to do it with another quarterback that's in the league right now, and a little youngin'. But it never does work out for somebody. It never does work out with you when you're doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like some way, somehow, it's weird, man. Like the universe catches up with you. You know what I'm saying? And like put you in your fucking place. You know what I'm saying? Like,
in what sense do you mean? Like, what do you mean though?
Like, now well that this guy is a good quarterback, but you feel you have a maybe. You know what? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's nothing ill. Maybe what it is that they can't get it past in their head other like a black guy being a quarterback and actually being successful at it. Especially when you see all these other all these other athletic attributes about him. And you see what I'm saying? So you might be like, damn, he can't throw, he can't do this, but damn, that boy sure can run. Damn.
That's fucked up though, man. Like I be getting pissed off and shit like that.
Yeah, but it's kind of like it's prejudice. Like
it is prejudice.
Preconceived. Yeah, well, yeah, it's a preconceived notion that you can't see this dude doing nothing else but running with the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they don't mean to do it, but it's just like it don't click to them sometimes that this guy's a better quarterback than he is a wide receiver.
Yeah, man. I remember like before, like this is kind of like when Cam Newton, I think maybe Cam Newton was in the league at this time, but I was actually talking to a dude. I'm not gonna say where he worked, but he worked for a very important government agency, and he actually played in Ohio, like for Ohio State. But we were talking sort of about that, but this is coming from his mouth, bro, and it was a brother too. He was like, but I think people ain't ready for like to listen to a black quarterback. I'm like, yo, my man. Like, and this was like not a dumb dude either, man. Like, this wasn't no like hick. Like, this was like a very well put together like cat. Like, and he had a very important position like at his job. But and he went through it. He actually played for Ohio State. Ohio State's a top 5 like school.
Yeah, it is. It's up there. They don't play around. I'm in Michigan, man. They don't play around here, man. Michigan, Ohio, they don't play.
Yeah, but and this is coming out of his mouth, being a brother and all that. He was like, "Oh, but I don't think people are ready." I'm like, "Yo, what if you make it like to a top position at your job? You're gonna say like that people ain't ready to listen to a black cat?" Like, but I think that a lot of these things are like sort of in place, like, and some of it is preconceived, like like what and maybe they don't like see themselves acting it out, like, or they don't. But I think a lot of that shit like that is just planned sometimes, man. Like when and that's with all sports too, with entertainment, with sports, like
Oh yeah. You know what? You
like
know what? Hold on. Let's talk about this. Let's read Lost Dawkins thing, and I'm gonna say some after we talk about this. I'm gonna say some because it's been pissing me off for a while, but it is what it is. I understand why. Lost Dawkins piece said, "Fact, L foul player. People did want to see Ortiz fight, not Jerry Chisora fight. That was Fast Eddie spinning his web over the casual fans again and selling that bullshit fight as a pay-per-view fight. I mean, Lost Dawkins is there, so I can't. Lance Dawkins said it. Lance Dawkins is over there. He's over there in the UK. So he said it. I mean, so it is what it is. What do you think about that?
as far as like they definitely did pull a fast one. I mean, at the end of the day, like the fight, like I said, it made, like, according to Sky, it made less than $9 million. According to Sky, I think it sold like 438,000 like pay-per-view buys.
Ew.
So how much was Luis Ortiz gonna sell? Like, you're gonna tell me he's gonna sell 200,000? Like it's that I think it'll trump that number. Like, Chisora is
That's
not like
fucking
popping like that.
disgusting. I wonder what the DAZN numbers. No, it wasn't on DAZN. But anyways, I don't know. It wasn't on DAZN, right? It was on Showtime, right?
They booted that shit from the zone, man. That shit was ass, bro. That fight's crazy ass.
Yeah,
Like,
the zone just basically like broke even or made a little extra money because they knew they wasn't gonna get what they. Yeah,
nah, the zone didn't want it on there. They gave them the boot, bro. They had to show it on Showtime in the US.
that's fucking disgusting. And that's all Eddie's fault. Like he ain't been doing enough promoting these fights over here. The AJ versus Povetkin fight. What kind of PR did they do? They had nothing. Yeah,
I mean,
Derek
it was, but at the end of the day, bro, like, you can't dress a pig up. Like, if it's an ass fight, it's an ass fight, man. It ain't gonna start, like, Eddie, like,
it's the
people
effort that counts, man. He didn't do shit.
Yeah, and people act like Eddie Hearn could like just sell anything, bro. Like, Eddie Hearn is a decent promoter. Like, I mean, like, the only thing Eddie Hearn does good is like sell bullshit to certain people, and like not having like people like really like put pressure on him, like with all this bullshit that he's been running like these past couple years. But besides that, Eddie Hearn's kind of a shitty promoter. Like the and that's pre the zone, that's during the zone, like whatever era you want to bring it to, like in these last couple years. From what I've known of Eddie Hearn, he's not like a great promoter like that. Like that's UK or not, like, and I don't want to knock the UK either, man. I appreciate that. Like, I like when there's like fighters that are over there, because it's like a different, like, it's like a different flavor. Like, it's cool. Like, I like to have like, like a little bit of a rivalry going, like when Mexicans like fight Puerto Ricans, or like when like Mexicans fight black cats. It's like dope. Like it's two different flavors walking into the ring. Like, I like seeing shit like that. Yeah, I don't want to see like, all American cats fighting each other all the time. Like, I mean, like, if they're the best, they're the best. Yeah, but it's just a different like flair. Like when you have dudes from other countries fighting each other, or fights happening in other countries, that's cool too. Like, and those are the biggest fights. It just happens to be that way. Like, like Floyd fights a Mexican cat. Like, it's a humongous fight. Like, Floyd comes out with like hip hop. The Mexican cat will come out with that like fucking polka sounding music. Like the it's just like cool. Like, it's just like a different look. Like so I don't mind like the UK like having a healthy um a boxing like community out there. I actually like that. Like, I wish we had more of that out here. So it's
Yeah, you
definitely
ain't
not a
lying.
rivalry. It's not a rivalry with the UK and the US. It's just that, like, this new shit that's coming out now, like, which kind of like never happened in the past, like where like the UK was like sort of like beefing with the US, like with this AJ versus Wilder thing. Like, that's kind of like a new thing too. Like, There was never like real problems like that. Like if anything, man, like dudes would have problems with Mexican cats, like because they be on the low saying some racist shit sometimes too, like than with like UK, like with like with the UK side of things. Like we like the UK, man. Like yo, and honestly, bro, like did you have like any like ill will for AJ pre like Klitschko or like during like I ain't have shit to say bad
No,
about
I
AJ.
didn't. I didn't have shit to say about him. I was just like, "Ooh, that's gonna be a good fight."
Yeah,
And
bro,
then
me
kind of
too,
like,
bro.
and then it was like after it was like after that fight, it started getting like, wait a minute, the fuck going on? Like, if you're gonna make the fight, make the fight. Like, you got this guy over here. Everybody's saying he suck. Everybody's saying he windmill Wilder and like this. Where all the fuck these guys come from? And then all of a sudden it's kind of like, why is everybody against this guy? And then it's kind of like even the promoter is talking about the guy. And I'm like, come on, bro. And it just doesn't. And you know what? World Breaker said it. World Breaker said it today. He said, "I'm not all into this bandwagon propaganda shit. Like you just jump on the bandwagon because of it's trendy to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's trendy to downplay this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not with that either. Like I think that shit is the unbecoming of a man. You know what I'm saying? It's the unbecoming of a man if you're gonna sit there and you're just gonna bandwagon some shit, just because somebody else said it's good to do it. I never did understand, like, how can some people make it a cool thing to sit over here and promote another fighter ducking another fighter via their promoter? Because that's what he's doing. He's going through Matchroom Boxing to duck Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, so, definitely, man. No, and I make videos about the topic, and it's not because like I don't have shit to say, but it's like sometimes like you like if you don't say shit, it's like these clowns like like they reappear, like like when you stay on their neck, they kind of like regroup and like or repeat the same shit. But like if you don't like if you don't stay on their neck, like it just feels like they think they have like the like they get brave again and they just like sort of pop up on you again, especially when there's like stuff that's not like endearing to them, like or news that's not endearing to Matchroom or AJ or Eddie Hearn, like like when because around those times they just hide, like when shit's going bad for Matchroom or the news is going bad for Matchroom. But if you don't stay on the neck, it's just like they get brave. So sometimes I make a lot of videos about AJ with that, and because like they get a lot of views, like the limited videos that I do make. I mean, and another thing too, man, like sometimes like with these other fights like that are coming down the pipe, especially like welterweight, man, it's just trash ass fights, bro. Like I'll be frank, like none of these fights are like close to being made, like as far as fights that matter. Like Thurman ain't gonna fight nobody, like fucking like I mean Errol Mikey Garcia, I'm not gonna buy that shit, man. Like as much as I like Errol and I like Mikey Garcia too, but that fight don't mean shit to me, man. Like in the grand scheme of things. And it's unfortunate for Errol like that he's getting ducked, no doubt. And I also like and I also don't think that I mean that it's like in a business sense, which sucks. Like I don't like flouting business. Yeah. But like Errol and Bud, like right now, it wouldn't make a lot of business sense because 2 years down the line, I mean that's gonna be a like fucking humongous fight.
I think sometimes like I'm all for best fighting the best, but I don't want to see the fighter. I mean, the fighter that I'm a fan of or that I like his style in the ring and stuff like that, and I see them come up from this and that. You like have to dig out of a fucking garbage can to feed themselves, or like World Breaker Fighter says, like one of the fighters just died and nobody knew he died. Nobody knew where he was. He just like disappeared, vanished. And at some point, yeah, you fight the guys, you fight the best, you fight the guys who you think will position you and stuff like that. But at the same time, If you just go out here and you just fight those guys now, when there's nobody coming up quite yet, then you're gonna be like Klitschko. You're gonna be fighting. You're gonna have a whole 10-year era of fighting a whole bunch of nobodies. Yeah, you'll still get the credit, depending on if people like you, depending on people feel like slandering you to make a quick buck off of YouTube or off of old media. But really, when you think about it, though, like it hurts your feelings. It hurts you, like, you know, for it kind of puts a stunt in your whole, like, being a boxing fan growth thing. But at the same time is understandable. If you got a fighter out there like Errol Spence that's like telling you, nah, I'm not, versus a fighter just out there telling you, yeah, I'm gonna fight him and blah blah blah, whoop. We offered him this, he still ain't respond and blah blah whoop. And they constantly feeding you lies because they don't want the fight. At least some of these fighters out here have the cojones, is man enough to tell you that it's not happening right now. If he says it's not happening right now, you either do two things. You either stop being a fan, or you be like, okay, man, I see your point, but I don't like it, blah, 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 whoop, whoop, whoop. I still like you as a fan and stuff like that, but I think that's a bitch move. You still don't let them slide for it, though.
Yeah, definitely.
But you,
and another thing too, I don't put like I like a little bit of the trend that I was seeing recently was that people attributed more of the blame like to Errol for ducking Crawford than they did Crawford. I think they both ducked each other. I don't think Crawford was trying to like really be gun ho for that fight because he would have jumped over to PBC. Period. Like he would have been in PBC. Like you ain't gonna go like to that. That's like Bud go. It's the equivalent of Bud going to fucking to the zone like to try to make the fight. You ain't trying to make that fight, bro. Like so I put it on both of them.
Yo, but check this out though. It's the same thing with Matchroom Boxing. Matchroom Boxing knows that Deontay Wilder wants to fight Tyson Fury. So why are you still sitting over here fixing your lips like, oh, we got 10 days. Come on, Wilder. Wilder, he's serious about the fight, and he says one face, one name, blah, 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 blah. Crawford stopped doing it because he knows. He knows that Spence ain't trying to fight him, and Spence know that Crawford they in agreement. I think they both fucking know that if they both was to fight, I think they know they have a very good chance of just cleaning everybody out and then having nobody. And then you don't even have a development. You got to wait for people to, you know, guys that's in this next year group that's a little bit younger than these guys coming up, and guys that's their age that nobody ever heard of yet coming up. So you mean to tell them if there was the fight right now, they would be just like what the Klitschko's are, the winner. You know what I'm saying?
I
like,
mean,
that's my opinion.
I sort of subscribe to the notion, but like, you know, because I'm definitely not like reasoning like for like these dudes ducking each other. Like, I mean, like, because I think like let's say per se like in a fantasy world, if one of those dudes ended up fighting each other, and that's not even just with them two. That would be like if like Thurman fought like Errol Spence, like whoever won that fight would be that fucking dude. Like whoever won that fight, every other match from there on out would be pay-per-view.
Yeah,
like whoever won that fight, when Mayweather like pops his head up like again and says he wants to come in, Mayweather would look like a bitch for ducking like the victor.
But the thing about it is that it's like this, man. Spence, Crawford, and Deontay Wilder, they ain't about bullshit. They ain't about doing pansy ass things to sell fights. They're not about pansy ass things to sell themselves. They don't give a fuck. Now Adrian and Mayweather, they are on that shit. They own that pansy ass shit to sell fights. Those three guys, they're not. And that's what's going to hurt them. And that's what they see it. They know this. They know that in order for them to be that star, they're going to have to do some things that they don't want to, that is not conducive to them, that they don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be the bad guy. They don't want to be the good guy. They just want to be them. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's up to the media has to keep talking about these guys, which they felt they won't fucking do. The media can easily go out there and say that Mayweather's this, Deontay Wilder's this, Crawford's this, Spence is this, blah blah blah, whoop. It's almost like the fact that it's going to take for Crawford, Spencer, Deontay Wilder to beat a bitch ass for the media to start really fucking talking about him.
Well, but like right now, like look at Wilder though. Like right now, the media. I mean, we're not really seeing it right. Like at this,
they knew Warren. They knew Warren. I give it that. They knew Warren.
When he fights Tyson Fury, if he fights Tyson Fury again, which I hope he does, like Tyson, like Wilder's name is gonna be humongous, bro. Like Wilder's name is gonna be bigger than just about everybody in boxing outside of Mayweather. But Wilder's taking that action. Wilder's looking for the biggest fights. He's
no. Imagine this, man. Imagine this. Imagine this. Imagine this, because when you look at when you look at Floyd Mayweather's 16 pay-per-views, right? Yeah. According to motherfucking what is it? Wikipedia, all of his pay-per-views combined made over $1.7 billion. You know what I'm saying? And so when you look at his the level of the amount of fighters he had around to fight to create pay-per-views, to create 16 pay-per-views, the amount, well, it had to do with his size too, because he could move up, go down. But at the same time is there's nothing around here. Like if Deontay Wilder fights Tyson Fury, he can't go over here and fight Ortiz and do a pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? It has to be Deontay Wilder. I mean, it has to be what's that dude's name? Anthony Joshua, the underwear model. It has to be him, the orangutan handler. It has to be him. Because
it would work out though at the end, you know, at the end the grand scheme of things, per se, if he fought like Fury as his next fight, he's still gonna be around 33 to 34 years old. If he fights AJ, it'll be either 2 times or 3 times. He could fight Fury 3 times too. Who knows?
Yeah, you know, well, I think it would have to be like that's the thing with Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua. It would have to be a trilogy. There's at least like 6 fights right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. And you know, at the end, how old is Wilder gonna be at the end of that? You know, and he's gonna be caking it. Like if that, like I think a lot of these dudes, you know, no matter what, like especially when you're undisputed, you almost like don't run out of opponents because like you're undisputed. Like whoever like fights you is coming for all 4 belts. So that kind of like sells the fight on it, like to a degree on its own. You know, but some of these dudes, man, they don't want to take on that action. Like, you know, like fucking Porter like is being a bitch, like sort of now. Then you got fucking Thurman been being a bitch for like fucking almost a decade now. Like fucking I'm just fucking like for like 2 years like now. So it just stagnates that whole division. Like, you know, these dudes could have been like, if you had like one per se, if there was like one guy that unified like 3 belts or all the belts in that division, you know, like, and let's say if it was Errol Spence versus Porter would be pay-per-view. Errol Spence versus Thurman would be pay-per-view. Errol Spence versus Bud would be pay-per-view, you know. But like these dudes, like they kind of like psych themselves out, and like, you know, then that whole division just sucks. Like, I mean, like right now, like in that division, the most popping fights are such and such versus Pacquiao. I don't want to see Pacquiao no more, man. Fuck Pacquiao.
I mean, there's fights out here that I would watch. I would pay for him to see, but I wasn't gonna pay for that Broner shit. I'm sorry, man. Like I couldn't do it. Not, and it's just like his age. Yeah. And then, like it wouldn't have, for Broner. That's nothing to be proud of. If he would have beat him. Like he's not what he was when he was 32. He's not what he was when he was 35. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that was nothing to be proud of. Like if he was to get the W, you know. Now if Mayweather fought Pacquiao, I'd probably do that. Now if Mayweather fought Spence, I would definitely do it. If Mayweather fought Crawford, I would definitely buy it because even though Mayweather's not no spring chicken, there's still stuff. There's still that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? There's still that knowledge that he knows and that defense that he knows. And at the same time, I think that even if Spence was to fight him and lose against him, there's so much to gain out of that.
Sure. Look at
You know what I'm
Canelo.
saying?
He lost to Mayweather, and look at him now.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, well, yeah. Look at him now.
You know, it's like that whole division right now. It's kind of. I mean, and the thing is too. What sucks about it is that like 2 or 3 years ago, like there was so much potential there. Like you had like 4 or 5 guys that were like you knew for sure like in 2 years they were going to be facing each other. Now fast forward to 2019, and like 2 or 3 years has passed, and like it's like those fights are no closer to being made than they were like when I first started like really hearing about these guys. So I mean like
hey, hold on, Lost D, you got to use Google Chrome on your laptop. You can't use you got to use you can't use Firefox. You got to use Google Chrome to use the Google Live, man. Oh, I don't know if he gone. He gone. He said he was leaving, so yeah, we'll probably see him on tonight. He'll probably be sleeping, listening to LDBC on his phone.
Nah, Los D is good brother, man.
Yeah. Sometimes I be doing that, man. I keep the damn. I get on a live stream and press the like button and listen to it for a little bit and let it rock my ass to sleep.
Yeah, sometimes I let it rock like just so that person can have like the view too. Especially if I'm not like at work or some shit.
I've been doing that for the Smoke City Mobcast because I be listening. Like even if I'm watching TV, I have it on with an earpiece on or something like that. But
yeah, my wife be hating though sometimes too, man, because I listen to boxing like all the time, especially in the whip too. Like my son, like he's starting to get like my son's not like my son was actually pumped up for like the Fury Wilder fight, but my son definitely doesn't like boxing like that, like I do. You know what I'm saying? Like so they're sick of hearing boxing talk, but fuck them. It's my call. Like but I'm always listening to LWC content.
Oh yeah.
There's different perspectives, and it's not bullshit too, man. Like, and on top of that too, like I said earlier, like motherfuckers go on live. So if you disagree with any notion that they put forward, you could always contest it live.
Yeah. And it's kind of like the people like they know, like they really don't even like listen to the comments, but the people that like they don't know, like they allow them to, because we get dialogue with them. You know what I'm saying? But the people that they don't know, they allow them to get dialogue in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They allow them to kill them, to hang themselves, all types of shit. And it's like I'm laughing at my friend. And it's like it's cool. And my whole thing is kind of like, I know some people don't like saying people's names, to give them more clicks, more likes or whatever. But I'm not giving a fuck no more. Like if
in our position too, man, like we still in the come up, you know what I'm saying? Like, so as far as like dudes, like and at the end of the day, like
I got a good idea. That's what we should do. All three of us should get on and like play the shit live, and then fucking just rag on it, just like make jokes and like about everything in there. Like I don't like just make jokes, clown on it. Like we should like come up with a whole like we'll call it like get your troll laughter talk or something. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like just kill these dudes.
Yeah, definitely, man. We got to formulate a plan. Like, I mean, it doesn't take much, man. Because I mean, like when you contend bullshit with reality or with truth or logic, like fucking that's I could do that all day. Like so fucking. Now we definitely like will formulate a plan for the future. Like when it comes to these dudes that be throwing stones from the sidelines.
Oh, but the thing about it is when some of them UK channels do it, they know exactly who they talking about, but they don't say who it is. They won't say who it is, but they know exactly who they talking about.
When they talk about a channel, you mean?
Yeah, they won't say who they is. They sit up over here and then like that Rekt thing. Like, dude, just say who they are.
Why are you scared? Oh, you're scared that BFTB is gonna call you out, and then you don't send them the link, or you don't accept the link.
Yeah,
You
you
know
don't
what I'm
jump
saying?
on.
You know what I'm saying? It's like how the fuck can you prove us wrong when Fanon put like a $500, $1,000 bounty on BFTB's head?
Yeah, and,
How the
and,
fuck?
and no, and BFTV is on every day too, consistently, bro.
Yeah,
Like sometimes he'll go on like days, and nobody will take the link. Like nobody will jump on and like try to contend. You know, it's and that's just one guy, bro. Like and that's cool too that he's doing that as far as like offering like the that smoke, but nobody takes him up, man. You would expect like from what you see online that every day like at least 10 people would be trying to jump on there and like fucking
yeah. They don't.
but like
They won't. No, they better
nah
not.
that
It'd be so fucked up. It won't even be funny because like you can't argue. You can't argue nothing. Man, I would love to see that though.
yeah, definitely, man. Like they I mean like the last one I caught, I don't want to give homeboy
Oh, I don't care. You can say it. I don't give a fuck.
no, because like there's actually a brother who was on there last time that tried to contend BFTV, like a brother who's been making his business of trying to knock Wilder. Like that's like his principal occupation of late is just like making like nonsensical points about Wilder, like fucking it's just on some hater shit.
You know how he does that. You know how that guy does that. And I wouldn't even entertain him anymore. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even block him or entertain him. I just let the people in the chat room handle their business. But the reason why I wouldn't entertain that guy is because he's doing it on purpose. And the only reason why he's doing it on purpose because he knows it's taken away from what actually the good shit that needs to be said. That's the only reason why he's doing it. He's getting attention. You know,
He's sort of getting attention though. Like it's like it's also that in the sense that like you're always gonna run into motherfuckers like that just have like I read a meme somewhere where like it says like a motherfucker could see you teleport and he'll be like, oh, what kind of car he drives. Like it's always gonna be some like we're used to that shit. Like the dudes within our own community that like just be on some hater shit all the time. Like that just aren't like act like they're not impressed with what you're doing or like act like they don't see you. You know, when you coming up in the world. So I mean, it's like dudes like that like are the ones that are like you kind of like it's best off like that. You do ignore them because they they look like you, like they sound like you, but they're just hating, man. Like they like you ain't hating on nobody else in the game except for like one cat, like who we all like think is doing the right thing by the sport. Like then what are you saying? Like you don't have that same vitriol for fucking all these other boxers. You don't have shit to say about AJ at all. Like so, I mean, like where's that coming from? Like you just hating.
yeah.
And on top of that too, like BFTV was in that ass last time. Like he was tearing them up, and he was still doing the same shit, like making nonsensical points and fucking not saying any, talking and not saying shit, basically. You know what I'm saying? But like those dudes, I mean, I'm not gonna like. I mean, like, and it's not like I'm not saying that I wouldn't make videos about them because they had like they're like God forbid they come at me like that. I don't give a fuck. Like they don't have shit to say, so I don't fear that. I'm saying like with these other like dick riding channels, like like fucking Rekt and Hatman and fucking Sporting Icons and Kunter Punch. Kunter Punch is the one I hate the most for some reason, like because he's from out, he's American and you could just tell like he's like one of those dudes that is probably a yes man at work and like fucking if he has a job or he's just a bum ass dude too, man. Like his house is dirty as fuck. If you look in the background, greasy ass walls, fucking he does his like you could tell he's fucking doing those Gillette shape ups like on his fucking corny ass like, goatee. He's just a corny ass and I and it's he has a very Tomish way about him, bro. I just you run into like when you do run into cats like that in real life, they just irk you. And I work with a few of them too, so it's like I can't really go into the ones that I work. I mean, I can't get into their asses, but him, nah, I get into his ass all day. So
yeah, because I'm just like, man, sometimes I be letting them slide, man, because it just be like, hold up. I just be like, man, whatever, man. It just because it just be so like in your face, like wrong. And I'd be like, I'd be like, go ahead.
Well, like with him, like too, it's like when he like I mean when he described Wilder in the past, he's like, oh, it's like the two different things of AJ like the businessman and Wilder's just like a thug. Like yo, like who talks like that, bro? Like
Yeah.
come on.
And then not
Like
only that is
you black too, like
soon as AJ said he sold some weed, motherfucker was like, oh yeah, see my fighter got street cred. Look, he sold a little tweet. Like, who gives a fuck about goddamn tweet? Like, nobody cares about motherfuckers selling drugs. Like, you shoot somebody?
Yeah, AJ probably sold weed like to a few people in his building and shit. Like like the and that street cred shit is corny, bro. Like on top of that too, man. I'm like like who like you can't keep like touting that. I'm not saying that AJ always touts that because I don't think he really lived that life. Like he just doesn't strike me as like when that dude pressed him up in Brooklyn about him not wanting the action with Wilder. Like, come on, man. Like, ain't nobody running up on like a street dude like that. Like, saying that you don't want that action, and you're looking around and shit, like fucking like trying to find the out. Like that's like
Blue
bird
Blood.
shit.
I think that was Blue Blood because Blue Blood rolled up on him, and like it looked like kind of like AJ was startled about the type of question. Like he was like, "Oh fuck."
No, not that time. There was another time, like recently, like when AJ came for this second U.S. tour.
What?
Like,
I don't think I probably seen it, but
it was on a channel that's called Laughing at First Sight.
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, like I don't know what he asked him at first, but he's like, I think you don't want that smoke with Deontay. I was like, oh, you think so? Like, but the dude was like all up, like he wasn't in his grill like that, but he was like looking, right in his face. Like it wasn't like no press gaggle and shit. It was just him and AJ.
Yeah, but ain't nothing hard about the dude. Like how
he's
the fuck,
bro? Like that dude's soft, man. Like that, like. And
you don't even want to step in the ring like that,
like
with
that just get by with size and shit. But
you don't even want to step in the ring with Dillian.
Like, yeah, bro.
Like, are you? Oh, I didn't want to jump in there because I didn't want to pop off. I'm not really the nice guy like you guys see me. Master Hearn told me, to watch myself, be on my best behavior, dude. But you took the mic out of this dude's hand, and you basically played him in front of the whole world. If you was really about that life, somebody would have stepped to you, slapped you, took the mic out of your hand, and looked at you and said, "What the fuck you gonna do about it?" Because that shit ain't cool. The way he did that shit to Dillian White took the mic and was like, well, I don't want to fight you really, but let's see what the fans say. What do you guys want to see? And he knew what the fans was going to say. The fans don't care about you fighting Dillian White. And you just threw that shit in his face.
Yeah, and then he's talking business like in the ring too. Like, well, if a fight with Deontay Wilder doesn't materialize, but remember, you guys wanted this. If or don't boo me. Like, if I do happen to fight Dillian White, like, shut up. Like nobody's ever talked like that in the ring. Of all the time I've watched boxing, like my man's politicking and shit, like trying to sell you like acting like you never like seen a ring talk or like fucking a post fight conference. Like he's just a corny ass dude, bro. Like he doesn't strike me as anybody who had any sort of street cred and that's not the only thing that sells me on a fighter, bro. Like it's fucking probably fighters that I like that fucking have zero street to them, but it's just that whole facade, man. Like you're trying to act like you have this big business model going for you, and you have a little bit of street allure. Like, never seen you with no hoes. Like, I can't stand AJ, man. Like, the more you look into him, bro, it's like the more repulsed you are by him, and the more he reminds you of people that you actually see in real life that are just funny style like that, man. Like, AJ's a fucking hoe.
Yeah, he is. You ain't lying.
And all these channels that can't find one negative thing to like put out in the air about him, man. Like they're hosts too. And I'm not saying that we, like channels like you and I who who mentioned those channels have this big fanfare behind us, but I'm definitely gonna invest some time into like trying to knock like fucking those asshole channels. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what we should do, man. We should get on here and start like just play they shit, and then we should pause it here and there and fucking just rag on their ass. I don't know how to. I just got to figure out how to bleed it through everything so everybody can hear it while we doing it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, definitely, man. Now
But
we'll definitely plan that behind scenes too, man. Like that way when we come out with it, it's
yeah,
you know,
motherfuckers gonna be like, damn, they going in on these hoes. Yeah.
yeah, definitely, man. Yo, I gotta dip off though, man. Fucking how long were we talking for?
Shit, I think I was on for about. Goddamn, how did we look at that? I think I was. Well, we could see it at the end of this. I think I was on maybe 25 minutes before you came through, dude. Maybe not even that probably because I didn't even get through my whole thing yet. So maybe.
Oh, my bad. Finish the whole thing after the fact though. If you ain't doing that,
I already finished. I got through all the stuff before you got on. I was just going down the list of the comments. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we've been on for probably like an hour, maybe longer than that.
Oof, that's what's up, bro. She was breezing too, and I could have kept talking, and you could have kept talking
my
too.
My shit said it started 2 hours ago.
Yeah, see that? And we could have kept talking too, man.
Yeah, we've been on for an hour and something. Yeah, and we still had like plenty of subjects. There's still like at least about 3 fights we could have been talking about. You know what I'm saying? So,
definitely, man. But and I'm only dipping off too because today's my last day off, and I got a bottle of wine and with that I was gonna drink with my lady. Try to watch that. Definitely.
Yeah, me too, man. Before I get a spanking.
Yeah, definitely, man. But now we got to do this again. Once I get my moving situation situated, man. Like fucking I'll try to like make more like concrete plans.
Yeah, because I want to get us. I want to get us for his guy together, man. And I think that'd be a good thing for us to do, like to start off with. Like, what's up, Reef? We about to jump off.
Well, shout out to Reef, man. Newark in the house, man. Like fucking I'm actually moving close to you, Reef.
So Reef, we was talking about like me and L5 player and 2 other guys getting together and figuring out how to bleed the stream through the Google Live to get into the YouTube and actually like make fun of and talk about some of these YouTube troll channels. Like it'd be kind of like a comedy, like a little comedy thing. Like, but we going down the list of the comments. We attacking the motherfucking shit that the YouTuber is saying, and we going down the list. We was thinking about doing that, man. I think it'd be something cool and different to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a plan under construction. Yeah, I think Reef's on my Facebook too. Like, I think I just added him couple of like a week or 2 ago. Yeah, shout out to Reef. Shout out to the whole Brick City. Fucking we're about to be neighbors soon. Yeah, but once I get my moving, like because I'm buying a crib, but I don't know when it's closing. But once that gets situated and I move and all this shit, like fucking I'm gonna try to get on live from the new Foul Playland Studios, fucking with my homeboy MJ, man. Like I said too, man. Like I'm not like fucking stroking, because I got you on the phone, man. But I've been wanting to. Like I like this shit from jump, and I haven't heard this shit. Like the first time you ever saw me commenting on your shit was the first time I ever heard your shit, and I like this shit from Jump Street, man. Like you have a lot to say, fucking and we're gonna get into other shit too, man, because I know you fuck with politics and all this shit. We ain't even talk about the government shutdown.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I ain't really read into it, but yeah.
But regardless, though, man, I'm pretty sure you could give a whole heap of commentary like in that direction or in other directions as well outside of boxing, man. But yeah, next time I'm email me like when you get a chance to after the fact, so I can give you my number and all that shit.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Nah, it was a pleasure too, man. Like fucking but I'm gonna break out. Like, thanks for letting me on too, man. Shout out to everybody who's listened to us because I can't see no comments or fucking
it's just Reef was in there. I think he out. Yeah, Reef.
Shout out to the whole LDBC, like fucking and Real Boxing Talk, and shout out to you, Mr. MJ.
All right, now, man. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate the kind words and all that. And we're gonna get back together again, and we're gonna bust them in their ass. You know what I'm saying?
No homo.
So yeah, no homo. So shout out to, we about to get off. Shout out to the LDBC and everybody. Stay sucker free. We out.
Peace, man. Thanks.